in Adobe Illustrator, we're going to create a new document. We're going to do it for print because I'm laser cutting. I'm going to start in A4 size and I'm going to change it to millimeters and create. So I've drawn an image by hand and then I've brought it into my computer and I want to trace around it. So I'm going to hold down Shift, black arrow, Shift, which makes it stay in proportion and doesn't skew. This I want to laser cut into an earring. So I'm going to hold this one down, the shape tool, and I'm going to start with a circle because this is going to be where the jump ring will go. And it'll keep it all in proportion as to how big it's going to be. So normally I'd make this hole 2 millimeters by 2 millimeters, just enter, so then we can see how big everything's going to be. So I might make this a bit smaller then, so I can see how that's 17 centimeters by 9 centimeters. That's a bit big for me. I will go down to, let's go down to around 7 in height. Here we go. So just that one there. So the way that this works is we're going to create some vector points. I like using the pen tool, and what I do is I put a point every time the drawing changes. So see how it changes here, then there's a curve around to here, then there's another one here. Let's go here, and it doesn't really matter, it can be messy, and we can always add more or take some away. And we just want to make it join up at the end. Then I use the white arrow to move my anchors to make them in the right place. Firstly, I want to be able to see, so I'm going to make this clear and I'm going to change this color to make it, I'm going to make it red. But notice at the moment this is in CMYK. We want it to be in RGB because that's what the laser cutter talks to. And I can just change it here to RGB. And I want green to be 0, blue to be 0, and red to be 255. So that's perfect. Let's just see if that got it. Yes, it did. Okay. And I'm just going to zoom in. I just use my touchpad, but you could use the zoom. And if I hold on to my pen tool, I hold it down, there's this anchor point tool. And we just click on the anchor and I drag it out and see how that curves the areas. So like this. And I can curve just one part at a time as well. So that's right here. Here, and I can move things. I can move it in a bit. I can drag it out. I'm just going to do this quickly. Okay, so I can rearrange the anchors a bit. So I always use the white arrow just to grab an anchor. The black arrow is for if I want to move the whole object. So see if I wanted to move the whole thing, I would use the black arrow. So then I can move that one to see, yep, that's looking okay. It's a bit wobbly down the bottom here, so maybe let's fix that one up. See what's happening. Maybe I'll delete one of these anchors and see if that's better. So to delete an anchor, I just press, nope, I don't just press delete because that deleted the whole thing. So let's undo it and let's let's move this out. Yeah. So delete an anchor. There's normally a minus and a plus. Let me find it. Let me just go to help. Anchor. Okay, here we go. So path, add anchor points, and remove anchor points. Okay, so that was in. If we go object, path, add or remove. So let's try removing. Oh, that removes the whole thing. So let's just, maybe we just click on that one and then object, path, remove anchor point. There we go. So that just removed the one. So then I can drag that out. And I find that the less the anchor points you have, the more smooth the lines are. There we go. So now I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to make both the lines the same color. So we want RGB red because we're cutting it. And I want the stroke to be thin. But where's my stroke? Oh, there it is. So just here. So it's at 1 point at the moment. I want it on 0.1. That's better. So if I wanted to engrave, I would use RGB blue. So maybe I want to engrave some lines. So maybe I want to engrave something like that. So I could make that blue and that's going to engrave that line. Say I wanted to write something, I could type it out. And because that's black, that will do a different kind of engraving. So it'll get a different look. So I could engrave that as well if I wanted to. But I don't want to, so I'm going to delete it. Then for saving purposes for Illustrator, first I'll just check that there's nothing else on the screen. So see how it just highlighted those areas? Oh, because they're earrings, I'm going to make 2 of them. I just copied and pasted them. I might actually group them together just so then if I move one part, it all moves together. So what I'm going to do actually, because I'm laser cutting it, I want it to be as close together as possible. So I might just move them just like that. So then the cutting space, don't waste any materials. There we go. Okay, so then I'll save it, file, save as, and I'm going to save it as an EPS, and I'll call it Illustrator, or I'll call it my name, laser piece. Okay, saving to the desktop. And just double check. Yep, so it's just there.